I think the person I'll be discussing is bad, this is a reminder to not look for or harass them. The purpose of this video is not to slander them, but instead to express how crazy I think this whole situation is and to defend my case. This video discusses racism, rape, incest, shotas and shotacons, self-harm, transphobia, and a really hard-headed weirdo who frustrates me to even think about that. Apart from that, enjoy the video. I used to have this friend that we'll call Leah. 7th through 8th grade, Leah and Remy were inseparable. You couldn't think about Leah without also thinking about Remy. I didn't necessarily care about Leah enough to call them my friend, and the same went for Remy. However, during the middle of freshman year, I started feeling a little weird about Leah. I had no reason to not like them, so I buried that feeling deep down and kept my mouth shut. It was like a little voice in my head was saying, "Get away! Get away!" I decided to give them the benefit of the doubt and tried to include them in my conversations more. I ignored all the things that made me uncomfortable because boy, do I love my friends! But that voice didn't go away. Giving them an even bigger benefit of even more doubt, I decided to add them to my school group chat. Yeah, the first thing I did was call Remy the N-word. Leah isn't black, by the way. So, I freaked out, and rightfully so. Since it happened during school hours, I already knew I had a way to report them. I had all day to be angry, and to tell them off when I got home. And when I did, they also got pretty angry, and said the N-word again. But you know what? I went ahead and kept telling them off. We argued back and forth, but the whole thing was basically, saying the N-word is bad! No, it isn't! I'm the victim here! Guys, can we please calm down? Shut up! Yeah, shut up! You shut up! You're racist! Yeah, that was pretty racist. See? If I'm such a bad person, get rid of me! What? Just leave! Why do I gotta do it? Huh? You're so sensitive! Weirdly enough, no one took it as seriously as I did. Everyone was sending, reaction images and just trying to ignore them. And then, it got to a point where we couldn't ignore them, because they were being weird. Not only did they start randomly venting, what? But they kept acting like they were so silly and cute, and that we were wrong for calling them out. However, in the middle of the argument, I realized something. Wait, what if they just straight up don't know what's wrong with saying that? I mean, it was clear that Remy didn't know what was wrong with it. He still saw Leah as trustworthy and was just trying his best to defend them. The two were inseparable, remember? Guys, please, they're just upset. We're all friends, we don't need to fight. And I'm the person of color here. I'm not even offended. Well, maybe Remy's right. I'm white. I shouldn't speak on something that doesn't affect me. And after a while, they stopped talking, and I thought that was the end of that. Maybe we can just forget about all this. We can be friends again. Let's embrace our differences, and... Oh, what? They hope. What? What now? Huh. So I had to report that, right? I mean, it was technically during school hours. You want to know something? Let me lean in real close. The counselor did not care. She didn't care at all. She didn't do anything about it. At least, not to my knowledge. Because she didn't do anything, Leah was just wandering around the school and was still saying racist things to Remy, unpunished. And what if I told you that wasn't the end of it? During my sophomore year, Remy and I were the dynamic duo. Take that, Leah! Sorry. What was I saying? Oh yeah! During my sophomore year, me and Remy were best friends, bonded by our hatred for the conditions of marching band. Well, Remy was having it pretty rough. It's hard to abandon someone you were that close to. And just like that, the little voice was back. But now it said, "Get Remy away! Get Remy away!" Every time there was some sort of break from playing, Leah would always run up to Remy and talk to him the entire time. I wanted to run out of the building right then and there. What made it worse was that Remy was 13th chair and I was 14th chair. Translation? We sat right beside each other. However, one day during lunch, I had the final straw with them. I thought it would be a fun outing idea to take Remy to McDonald's for lunch. Leah decided to follow us. I could feel my blood boiling already. Or maybe that was the 100-degree weather. Even though I really didn't want them there, I decided to let them stay. I had my faults too. Maybe they turned over a new leaf. I grinned and bared it, and hey, they actually weren't that bad. They were over here cracking jokes, I was laughing it up, we were having a blast. Until they ruined it. My dad said my cuts look like notebook paper! Nobody was talking about anything related to cutting. What are you talking about, bro? I tried to shake it off, and we walked back to the school with about 25 minutes to spare. I'd run out of things to talk about, so I let Leah take the floor. They were talking to Remy about a game they like to play. Okay, cool, I like games. But you know what games I don't like? Whatever the hell they were talking about. In this game, this is how you get raped. Blah 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 rape. Blah 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 sexual assault. Ah, there goes my appetite. Here's the thing. They knew that I was sexually assaulted, and they knew joking about sexual assault made me uncomfortable. I didn't tell you this, but during the argument, they even told me that I deserve my trauma. I even tried to make it painfully obvious that I was uncomfortable. I shifted around my seat, I avoided eye contact, I put my headphones on, and they still wouldn't shut up. No, I'm not gonna take this. Hey, Mr. Conductor, they're being weird. Okay, I'll make it so they can't talk to you. Oh, for real? Nice. So, that's all that's left? There's more? God! After that, Remy was able to agree that Leah was a really weird person. He promised to cut them off, and we could laugh about the whole thing. Honestly, I love gossip, but this was too much for me. I had to balance drama with my ex-boyfriend, with drama in band, and drama with Leah. It was a whole ordeal. OMG. Fuck fake-ass friends. Who the hell just lets people spread rumors about their best friend? Fuckers, that's who. Also, I've tried being silent about the situation, but I don't really see a reason when it's ranting time. So, like, my best friend, ex-friend, decided to hang out with a cunt who reveals inattention when talking shit about someone. So when they found out I was a pro shipper, they didn't say much until we got into the high school. So I was a band kid, hanging out with people and, you know, being myself. My friend started hanging out with this cunt. That's what I'll be referring to them, by the way. In middle school, after not talking to them for some bullshit drama that happened. Tell me why I was getting less and less attention from my friend? Oh, because this cunt thought it was okay to just shit-talk me and pull them closer together to get my friend away from me. It's funny, because my friend invited me to eat with them. Then, Lord, I'm telling my friend, my dad made fun of my healed cuts from months ago, and this cunt goes to the damn director of our band and reports me? They said, and I quote from the director, "They said you had invited yourself out to eat with them and started to glorify rape and self-harm. Except I never really glorified anything, only mentioned it briefly. The rape part was when I was introducing my friend to DOL and warning them about the things in it. And OMG, it's so disgusting that they even did this too. They started going up to my friends and telling them I was a racist and liked little boys. Okay, that's all. I got it. So I get pissed and finally decided to do something. I reported it to my counselor, but instead, OMG, mine! I'm in the cunt's counselor's office. This counselor was mostly just fucking dumb. All she really did was make us admit our mistakes and shit, then promise not to talk about each other. The end. But that's not all, no! This is the funny part. When I quit the band because I'm sick of doing something I don't enjoy, and because I hate liars and assholes, I go to the band's football game. These dumb fucks are already talking shit and scream like banshees. I'm, of course, a little put off by this, so I talked to the other band kids about it. The best response I've ever heard was, "No one even likes them. They're a bad weird, and they talk too much." I giggled. Like, I knew that was obvious, but like, they really want to kick them out.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam.